Are you preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance exams? BYJU'S Exam Prep, CAT and MBA, your one-stop solution for all MBA exams related questions. Watch unique strategies to ace CAT, XAT, SNAP, IIFT, TISNET, CMAT and other important MBA entrance exams. Tips and tricks to boost scores and chapter-wise session exam-related update and notifications, live exam analysis and actual questions discussion. So why wait? Subscribe to BYJU'S Exam Prep, CAT and MBA YouTube channel and press the bell icon to stay updated.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. So today we are going to do some DI sets for MAHCET. Okay, so DI, if we talk about, there are like 15 to 20 questions from this part in the examination. You can expect somewhere around 3 to 4 sets. Okay, so we are going to do mixed DI, right? So mixed DI basically is no such concept, but is basically a combination of different charts, right? So you have like it could be bar plus table, it could be pie chart plus line chart, or bar plus line chart, so etc. Those are called, there's no such name as such, but we'll be basically doing a combination of DI sets. Okay, so here's the first set. It says that the pie chart shows the percentage of total number of two-wheelers and three-wheelers sold by XYZ Limited in a particular month in 5 cities. Okay, so we have a pie chart given here. So it says that there are a total of 30,000 vehicles, and this is the distribution of the sale in 5 cities. Okay, so 30,000 vehicles sold in 5 cities. And then we have a table which gives the number of two-wheelers sold in the given 5 cities. So this is two-wheelers and three-wheelers both, and this is two-wheelers. Okay, so basically the logic here is we will find from this, we will get the from the pie chart we will get the number of two-wheelers plus three-wheelers, and we will subtract the number of two-wheelers to get the number of three-wheelers sold in different cities. Okay, so let us see all this data at once and look at the questions. So here's the first question. You have to tell the number of two-wheelers sold in Bengaluru is what percent more or less than the number of three-wheelers sold in Mumbai. Two-wheelers we can directly calculate from the table. I mean, you do not have to even calculate, it is already given in the table. Three-wheelers we'll have to calculate. The two-wheelers sold in Bengaluru is what percent more or less than the number of three-wheelers sold in Mumbai. So two-wheelers in Bengaluru you can directly see from the table, it is 3600. Okay, so this number is 3600. Now we have to compare this number with three-wheelers sold in Mumbai. Okay, so how will we find the number of three-wheelers? So this is 25% of 30,000. Okay, so this total is 30,000 and 25% is 1/4, so that will be 7,500. 7,500 is 2 plus three-wheelers. Okay, now if you look at the number of two-wheelers, that is 3,500. That is two-wheelers. We will get the number of three-wheelers as 4,000. Simple calculation. So 4,000 three-wheelers, Now it is saying that number of two-wheelers is what percent less or more. Okay, so two-wheelers in Bengaluru is less by how much? By 400. Okay, less by 400 than what? Than the number of three-wheelers in Mumbai. So 400 by 4000. Okay, that is 10%. So 10% less. Now there is an option 10% more. Do not mark 10% more because it is 10% less. Okay, this was a simple one. You just had to do one calculation, right? You do not have to because this was already given. Okay, let's see the next problem. It says the total number of three-wheelers sold in all the cities together is distributed in a degree pie chart. What will be the approximate central angle for Bengaluru and Kolkata together? Now, in this question, you need to think that how can you find that number? So it says total number of three-wheelers sold in all cities is distributed in a degree pie chart. So this pie chart is for total vehicles, right? This is for two-wheelers plus three-wheelers. Okay, but the question says that we have to find for just three-wheelers. We have to make another pie chart of only three-wheelers and then find the degree angle for Bengaluru and Kolkata together. Now try to think that how can we do it in a better way. By better way, I mean that, see, if you calculate the three wheelers in all, it will take a long time. So total vehicles is 30,000. This is total vehicles. Or will you skip this question in the examination? There's a chance that you can skip also. Because this pie chart gives you total vehicles. This is two wheelers, right? For three wheelers, how did we calculate? We calculated by subtracting from the total number of two wheelers, like we did in the previous question for Mumbai. So try this question. Let's see how many of you can get this one right. So if you get a pie chart, this is like compared to for MHCT, this can be considered as a difficult question for MHCT level because you have double charts given, and for calculating the number of three wheelers, you have to calculate total and then subtract two wheelers. Similar questions you can get by like double pie charts of total number of students and pie chart of another pie chart would be of number of female students. So you will have to calculate number of male students. So that way there could be sort of calculations in these pie charts. Now there are two ways to do this, right? How will a normal person do? A normal person will calculate like this is the total vehicles, and from total vehicles a person will subtract the number of two wheelers because two wheelers is given here. That will give us three wheelers. Let us write TW for two. This is for three wheelers. So this is how a person would calculate individually, right? But we do not need to calculate for all. See what we need for just for Bengaluru and Kolkata and with respect to total, right? Can we get the total from here? Yes, we can, right? So suppose there are total 30,000 vehicles, okay? Minus how many two wheelers are there? Just add this 75, 100, 152. So that is two-wheelers. Okay. So three-wheelers will be 14,800. We can directly calculate the number of total three-wheelers, right? Now we will calculate three-wheelers for only these two, Bengaluru and Kolkata. Okay. So Bengaluru, first of all, we'll have to calculate total vehicles. Total vehicles is 6,000 and two-wheelers is 3,600. Right? So that is 2,400 here. And we have to find for Kolkata also. So Kolkata is 15%, that is 4,500. And this is 2,500. So this comes as 2,000. And so we'll get 4,400. Okay, 4,400. Now this is the total number of three-wheelers in. It is saying that the total number of three-wheelers is distributed in this, right? So total number of three-wheelers in Bengaluru and Kolkata together is 4,400 and this is 1,4,800. Okay, so basically your answer will be 44 by 148 into 360 degree. Okay, now can we eliminate options and see we are not getting an absolute number, we may get in decimals. So this will come as 11 by 37. So less than 10, right? Slightly less than 10. So this will be close to 107 degree. If you want to multiply and divide, well and good, but you can just see 37 into 10 is 370, slightly less than 10, 9 point something, right? So 11 into 9 is 99, 99 plus something, that will be 99.7, about that number. So that will come as 107 degree, close to that. Okay, you will not get an absolute, like it will be in decimals, but very close to 107. Otherwise, if you calculate this way, it will take a long time to calculate because you will have to calculate for 5 places the number of two-wheelers and add that. So we can directly calculate three-wheelers, total three-wheelers using this table, and this total we know 30,000. So we know total 14,800 are the number of three-wheelers, and we calculated for these two because we had to add for these two and calculate. So check, you should be able to get close to this, that you can use a calculator to find out the value. Uh, that would be close to 107. Okay, so let's see the next one. What is the ratio of the number of three-wheelers sold in Chennai and the number of two-wheelers sold in Delhi? Again, that's a simpler one. Previous one was slightly difficult, but yes, if you did it the right way, maybe you could have done it in much lesser time. So this is a simple one. You just have to find three-wheelers in Chennai because two-wheelers in Delhi would be readily available. Did anyone calculate this? 4:5. Okay. So this weekend two-wheelers in Delhi is directly given here. That is 4,000. Okay. And we have to calculate three-wheelers in Chennai. So Chennai total vehicles is 4,800, 16%, and this is 1,600. So that is 3,200. So 32:40 is 4:5. That was a simple calculation, and all of you did it right. Okay. If the selling price of three-wheelers in Kolkata and Bengaluru are this respectively, what is the average selling price of three-wheelers for the cities of Kolkata and Bengaluru? Now, one good advantage is right? So we have already calculated the number of three-wheelers in Bengaluru and Kolkata. So one thing that you keep in mind in DI especially is like make sure that you do rough work at one place. Let us say you thought कि इसमें calculation लगेगा and you skipped this question. You thought कि I'll come back to it later and solve it. So if your rough work is done at one place, you will be able to find out, अच्छा, we had already calculated the number of three-wheelers in Bengaluru and Kolkata. Okay, so how many were in Bengaluru? 2400, right? And in Kolkata we had 2000. You can use solve it by weighted average. I mean, you have to find the weighted average in this. Kolkata, the price is 2.4 lakhs, and Bengaluru, the price is 3.5 lakhs. So weighted average, the method is basically what you will do here is you will multiply this by this, right? So it says that these many vehicles, so total price will be this, okay, plus 2.4 into 2000 upon the total number of vehicles, that is 2400 into plus 2000, this, okay. But remember this thing, right? A good advice here is do not multiply by these numbers. These are large numbers, okay. What we will do is, see, we can find like 100 common plus 400 common. We can take out 400 common from both things, right? So if we take 4, because if you take 400 common, this will be 3.5 into 6, 2.4 into 5, and 400 common, this will be 6 plus 5. Okay, so in order to reduce it, we can take 400 common, so we will consider it as 6, and this we will consider as 5. Okay, so instead of doing this calculation, we can do this calculation: 3.5 into 6 plus 2.4 into 5 upon 6 plus 5. Okay, so you can directly find. So in weighted average, remember this thing, that instead of using the actual numbers, you can use the basic ratio. Okay, so 3.5 into 6 is 21, and 12 21 plus 12 is 33 upon 11, that is 3 lakhs. Okay, so this is how you can calculate this. Okay, so instead of multiplying by larger numbers, you can simply multiply by the ratio that they have. So that's an application of ratios and averages, this weighted average thing. Okay, and the reverse of this is allegation. If you were given the price, you were given the price of this also. Like the reverse process is finding the ratio in which they are mixed, right? So they might have given that 2.4 lakhs for this, 3.5 lakhs for this, and they can ask you in the reverse way that what is the number of three-wheelers in this. So that is allegation. Okay. If 25% of the total number of two-wheelers sold in Delhi are of white color, how many two-wheelers sold in Delhi are not of white color? It's a very simple question. So one learning from this set you take is like in every class I keep telling the learnings. See, if you saw the previous question was you had to do a bit of calculation, right? Now this is very easy question, right? Very easy question. So 25% are of white color, so 75% are not of white color. Okay, 75% means 3/4 of 4,000. So the answer will be 3,000. Okay, very simple question. So do not miss out on simple questions. So whenever you are attempting a set in DI in the examination, make sure you go through all the questions. It might be possible कि first question lengthy है, second question average, third question easy, fourth difficult, fifth easy. So it is possible that a subsequent question can be easy. So do not take this thing कि पहला question easy आएगा फिर level बढ़ेगा. It could be the other way around also. So if you are solving a DI set, right, if you have attempted one, so just go through all the questions before leaving it. Suppose it happens, right, you do not know which one is easy or difficult, but when you start solving you realize that this is going to consume my time. So please go through the questions and see this is a very simple question, should have hardly taken any time, right? 15 seconds, you can just read this, see the table and answer. Okay, next is, so in this case we are given a line graph and it shows the number of persons who bought MI phone out of total persons who bought phone, and the bar graph shows the percentage of persons who bought Samsung phone plus Apple phone out of total number of persons who bought phone from 5 different shops. All the 5 shops sold only phone of the given 3 companies. So there are 3 companies, MI, Samsung and Apple. Okay, so this is the number of persons who bought MI phone. This line graph shows the number of persons buying MI phone, and this is the percentage of people who bought Samsung plus Apple phone. Okay, now in graph reading I'll tell you one thing, if these central lines are not given and this looks closely in between, right, it will obviously look in between, so take this as 65%. Similarly, take this value as 45%. Okay, never make such mistakes. Otherwise, if they give you those values, they will definitely have lines in between. That's how you read them. For example, in this case, lines are given for 10 10, so all values are multiples of 10. But if they are given somewhere in between, then take the value that is 5, like 445 or 475 kind of values. Okay, so we are given uh, number of MI phones and percentage of Samsung plus Apple. Now there's a slight logic in this, not so difficult logic. The thing is, there are only 3 kinds of phones, right? MI plus Apple plus Samsung. So total is 100%. Okay, so we are given the percentage of Samsung and Apple. So we can find the percentage of MI phones. We are given the number of phones of MI. Let us say this example, right? 60% is Samsung plus Apple. So MI will be 40%, right? 40% is 480. So total phones will be 1200. So at least calculate these values and then, I mean, in this you don't have to calculate too many values. So you can calculate the 5 values because that would be used. So they've asked about shop A. So these basic logic related to percentages should be able to cover, right? They've not given this. They've just mentioned that these 3 other phones, only phones sold. So you should be able to find out that how to find the total number of phones sold. Already done half of the work. So we are given 1200 phones, right? 60% is Apple plus Samsung. So that is 720, right? 720 and 300 is Samsung phone, right? So 720 minus 300. So we'll get 420. That will be the number of Apple phones sold. Easy one. Find the number of persons who bought phone from shop E. Again, an easy easy question. So expect 1 or 2 sets to be easy ones. One set could be on the moderate to difficult side. Generally, DI easy aata hai, not difficult. Puzzles are lengthy in MHCT. Okay, DI easy आएगा. Numerical problems, some easy, some tricky. But DI will generally be easy. They do not ask very difficult DI. How many persons bought phone from shop E? This is half of previous question. Now, knowing certain percentages help you solve questions fast. If you look at shop E, right, this is 45%. 45% is these two. So that means MI will be 55%. Okay. So 55% का fraction form क्या होता है? 55 is 11 by 20. Okay. So this is how much? This is 440. 40 into 20, 800 is the total number of phones. Quite simple. If ratio of number of male to female who bought phone from shop D is 3:5, find the number of male who bought phone from shop D. Now you just have to do the same calculation for shop D and find the number of males who bought that phone. So how many, this is now we have to find for shop D. Okay, so shop D we have this 70%, right? So MI will be 30%. 30% is 480, right? 3 times 16 into 3. So total number of people will be 1600, right? And it is saying male to female is 3:5. So male will be 3 parts out of total 8 parts. So that is 200 into 3, 600. And these are such questions that you can do it in your head also. You do not need pen also in some of the questions. Okay. All right. If number of persons who bought Apple phone from shop C and from shop B is 200 and 300 respectively, then find the number of persons who bought Samsung phone from shop C to number of persons who bought Samsung phone from shop B. Now you know that this is a lengthy one, right? Lengthy means, I mean, not so lengthy, but compared to other questions. ये जो पहले के 3 questions they were very easy. This is slightly time consuming. So we are given, we will have to calculate for C and D. Okay, so D we already calculated in the previous question, right? So D is, no, B and C, sorry. So B and C we have to calculate. B is 65% and this is 50%, right? 50% to double ho jayega. C will be 1000 and in this case B is 35%, right? So 35% is 7 by 20. So remaining will be MI will be 35, that is 7 by 20. So total number of phones will be 490 into 20 by 7, that is 1400. Okay, 1400. Now this is 490 is MI. So Apple plus Samsung, this is 490. So you will get 910, and this is 1000 minus this value is 500. So this is 500. Okay. Now we are given the number of Apple phones from shop C and B. Now one important thing is this thing respectively, right? This order you must be careful about. Sometimes what people do is they read B and C because we have natural tendency, right? We think कि जो पहला letter है वो पहले लिखा होगा. So make sure you read it properly. So from C it is 200 and 310 from this. So 200 means ये 300 हो जाएगा and this is 310. So this you get as 600. Okay. Now it is asking shop C ratio shop B. So 300 ratio 600, the answer is 1:2. Now sometimes like this, even they had the worst thing, they should have kept 2:1 also as the option, and many people will get it wrong because they do not read the order properly. होता है, there will be 20% of the people that will make such mistake because we generally have the tendency ना A ratio B ही पूछता है. We do not think कि C ratio B भी पूछ सकता है, मतलब generally we calculate in that way. So this is the total number of persons that bought MI phone. These are the number of people who, these are the total buyers, these are the number of people who buy MI phones. So this gives us the number of Apple plus Samsung. Now we are given Apple in this, so we calculated the number of people who bought Samsung phones. Now this ratio, this is asked, so that comes as 1:2. Slightly calculation, but this is, you can expect the standard level of questions. Okay, very rare you will get difficult ones. Alright, so here's the next set. It says that ratio of selling prices and cost price of 5 different articles, and the table represents the mark price of the articles. So this is mark price, this is the ratio of selling price to cost price. Now how can we find something like, if let us say for A, so A is selling price upon cost price is 0.8, so you can say that selling price is 0.8 of cost price. Okay, for A. For B, selling price will be 1.2 times of cost price. So likewise we can calculate that. Okay, it is based on profit and loss. So you do get questions based on arithmetic based questions like profit and loss. So now it is saying that if the selling prices of articles C and D are same as their mark price respectively, find the approximate sum of cost price of articles C and D. So it says selling price are same as the mark price, right? So these are the selling prices for C and D. You have to find the cost price. So now I told you that the selling price is 1.5 times, right? So this is selling price upon cost price. So selling price for C, if we calculate for C, that is 1.5 times. So selling price will be 1.5 C. So in order to find C, just divide by 1.5. So 1640 by 1.5. You can say that this is 3280 by 3. 10. Okay, 9. 1093. Okay. Now you can eliminate these three options because the price won't be 200 or something, because this is 2450 and it is 1.8 times. So 2.2450 by 1.8 कितना आ जाएगा? 18 1 is 18. Okay, then you have 665 3. So if I just add this, I will get something 23, like this is some number, right? So this will be 2300 plus, or rather 2400 plus. This will be 2400 plus because in 93 to pehle se I'm not even calculating the third digit, right? You can just do this kind of rough work also, and this saves a lot of time. See the options. कोई option 2400 है नहीं, right? This will be 13, so that will be definitely more than 2393. So it can be 2400 something. So you do not need to go beyond this. Okay, so that is how you can reduce the time. ठीक है, आप exact निकालोगे, that is not going to give you any advantage, right? A person who is doing this way and getting the answer will get the same number of marks as opposed to a person who is calculating the exact number and then feeling happy, यार मेरा तो सही आ गया, right? So be smart, look at the options. 3 options we can directly reject because first itself we got 1000 something, so definitely इतना कम price तो होगा नहीं. 2450 is the mark price, that is the selling price also. 1.8, you know that, okay, this won't be 200 kind of thing, it will be somewhere more than 1000, right? And this we saw that it is going to be 2400 plus. If the ratio between cost price of A and E was 3:5 and the mark price of article E was 250 more than the selling price of article E, what was the selling price of article A? Now this is a calculation heavy DI. Okay, as compared to the other two sets, this is a calculation heavy, and you can expect one set to be like this. ये एक जिसमें calculation थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो सकता है. So if you are good with tables, like if you know the table of 1, 15, 18, 16, you can do that faster. What is the first statement? So first statement says cost price of A and E 3:5 and mark price of E is 250 more than the selling price of article E. So we have three kinds of prices, right? A and E will have three kinds of prices, right? Cost price, mark price and selling price, right, of A and E. So selling price is already written here, okay? Sorry, mark price is already written, so A is 1250 and this is 2750. Okay, that is the mark price. Now it says mark price of E was 250 more than the selling price of E, right? So selling price of E is 2500. Okay, now if we see the selling price here, so we can find the cost price. Okay, we can find the cost price, and from the cost price we can find the cost price of A, and then we can find the selling price of A. Previous question was, so it is saying the selling price of C and D are same as mark price. So whatever was the mark price, that is the same as the selling price. So that means no discount. Now, one important thing that you remember in doing sets, right, and like quant, DI, जो भी होता है, avoid intermediate calculations. Okay? What is the biggest mistake that people do is they do intermediate calculations, and that's the reason they suffer. I'll tell you what do I mean by this. Now we know that selling price of this is this. Okay, what people will do is they will calculate the cost price of E. They will say cost price of E is 2500 by 1.6. They will get the cost price of E. Then they will calculate the selling cost price of A, like whatever they got. From this they will calculate the cost price of A. Then from the cost price of A they will find the selling price of A, right? Instead of doing this, do this way. ये आ गया, ठीक है? Now this is 3:5, right? So for A it will be 3:5. ये क्या? This is CP of E. This is CP of A, and it is selling price is 0.8 times. So this directly is giving us, this combined thing is giving us the answer, right? So if you calculate this much, this will give you this. So do not calculate this value, do not calculate this value, straight away calculate the final value. So this is 2 times, okay? So 5 into 2 is 10, right? So 250 into 3, 750. That will be the answer. Otherwise ये decimal में आएगा, ये भी decimal में आएगा, then you calculate, it would take a long time to calculate. So if you can do it in this way, right, whenever you have to do any calculation, DI नहीं, right, uh, uh, like in quant also, if you have to do these kind of calculation, just go to the final calculation, because they have not asked the cost price of E, they have not asked the cost price of A, they have directly asked the selling price of A. तो बीच की वैल्यू निकाल के क्या फायदा, राइट? यू वुड हैव कैलकुलेटेड डिवाइडिंग बाय 16, देन कैलकुलेटेड दिस, तो सीधे सीधे मल्टीप्लाई करते रहो एंड यू गेट द आंसर. इसमें आसान भी होगा, 0.8 से 1.6 कट गया और इससे ये कट गया. 3/8 नहीं होगा, 3/5 होगा ना. See, cost price of A and E is given. We are not comparing with total. If you I got your point. 3/8 you take when you have to compare with total. We are not calculating from total. We are directly given the cost price of this and this ratio of this. If it was like cost price of A and E and we knew the total cost price, so we do not have the total cost price, that is the direct cost price of E. If the total cost price was known, we would have used this. Okay, so we will get 750 as the answer. So using these smart things, right, avoiding these such things help you do calculations very fast. If the ratio between the selling price of B and D was 3:2 and the discount given on article D was 20%, find the cost price of article B. So let us do it in a similar way. So B and D, the mark price is 1580 and 2450. What we have to find? We have to find the cost price of article B. Again, we can use the ratio and find it faster. So try to find this. The way we did in the previous question, do not calculate the actual values. D is sold at 20% discount. I think something is wrong in this question. Our answer should be none of these. No. I mean, if you feel answer should be none of these without even solving. Or, I mean, logically thinking, a person does not keep mark. I mean, if that illogical person, then I can understand. Because mark price is 1580, ठीक है, cost price ज़्यादा कैसे हो सकता है? That is possible that a person is selling at loss. That's a different thing. But it looks something wrong to me, isn't it? Mark price generally ऊपर ही रखते हैं ना. But let us calculate, right? Maybe they've assumed that this person is selling at a loss. So what we will do in this case is, like as we did in the previous question, we have to find the cost price of B. Okay. So mark price of D is known and we are given 20% discount, right? So selling price of this will be point, see 20% discount means 0.8, or you can say 4/5 times, right? So this is giving you the selling price. Okay. Now this selling price is 3:2. Okay. So B ratio D is 3:2. So selling price of this part is selling price of D selling price of B, and then it is given that we have to find the cost price. कुछ तो wrong आ रहा है. ये cost price कैसे बदला है? We can find the selling price. We can find the selling price, not the cost price. अच्छा हाँ इससे आ जाएगा सॉरी. अरे ये तो दिया है ना. So again we will so this is 1.2 times, so we will divide by 1.2. Okay. Okay, so this is 5 to 10 and this is 12, right? So 5 into 2 is 10, 10 into 1.2 is 12, so 12 12 ये चला गया. So 2450 will be your answer, but this is wrong, right? Logically incorrect. क्योंकि like logically incorrect because कि mark price कम है, selling price ज्यादा हो गया. ठीक है, but mathematically you can get the answer, but logically incorrect कि mark price कम करके selling price ज्यादा कर दे, but that is possible, right? I mean hypothetically that is possible, that is, but that's not logically correct. Okay, but you will get the number as 2450. If the cost price of article A was 20% less the mark price, find the discount percentage offered on article A. So that in the previous question it is like that. Sometimes you see those jokes also, right? The age of son is more than the age of father. Okay, so वही logic है कि मतलब mark price how can it be less than selling price? The cost price of article A was 20% less than the mark price. Find the discount percentage. So we can easily find this. The cost price is 20% less than the mark price. So A is mark price is 1250. Mark price is 1250. So cost price will be 80%, that is 1000. Okay. And selling price is 0.8. So selling price is 800. So discount percentage, discount is of 450 out of 1250. 50 से चला जाएगा, this is 9 and this is 25. That will be 36% discount. Or without even using these numbers you could have calculated. See, I'll tell you how. So cost price is 100%. Okay. So mark price will be like suppose mark price is 100%. Cost price is 20% less. So cost price will be 80%. Okay. And selling price is 0.8 times. So selling price will be 64%. This minus this you get 36% discount. Could have been done without using these numbers, but easy to calculate karna, one could have calculated that. You will get the answer as 36%. Right, so these kind of calculations you can expect in the examination. Jisme multiple graphs, like there would be a table plus some graph and certain calculations. So this is the level that you get. इससे ऊपर के very rare that you get very difficult ones. So easy to moderate. That is the level of DI over the years. So if we are preparing for CAT 2022 and like looking for a classroom program, you can enroll with us. We have live sessions plus recorded classes, mock tests, practice questions, books, etc. Yeah, so that was a tricky one, but I told you certain things key how to ease your calculations. Do not make intermediate calculations, right? Like when you get some intermediate value, see they like if they were asked if you are going through the path that you are finding cost price first and then selling price, so do not find the cost price, direct do the multiplication all together and get to the answer. And certain other things we saw that how can we solve certain questions in a faster way than a normal person does. Okay, do not calculate each and everything in the graphs. Make sure that you see that what is asked. Like if they have not asked about A, so why to calculate for A? Like we saw in the two-wheeler, three-wheeler, right? So do not calculate all things and make a table in the beginning. Maybe they might not ask you about all things. And also see the questions, right? All right, so that is it for today's class. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked this. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye.